Do you have any idea how embarrassing diarrhea is mid-jump shot in the 7th grade? Let's talk about some of the most embarrassing stories in this episode of Broke to Woke. All right, Britt, let's just change it up for a second. This is our podcast.
Our podcast.
We're doing this.
For free.
We're not charging for these?
No, not yet.
Dang, this is a bad business model.
I know. We're not just doing it for business.
Let's have fun. Let's just tell stories.
Okay.
Hit me with something embarrassing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Something embarrassing from me?
Yeah, an embarrassing story.
I have had a new most embarrassing moment in the last year.
You have?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have. We were doing a donor retreat here on the island for our top donors for aerial recovery.
Okay.
And one of those people joining was Brett James, who is like one of the, top songwriters in the history of songwriting in Nashville, Tennessee. I think he had like 24 or 28 Billboard #1 hits.
What?
Yeah, he's freaking amazing.
Heck yeah. Good job, Brett.
And we did a little fun thing where we were going to do karaoke night, but we only sang Brett James songs. And so we had to pick one. And I was like, oh, I know which one I'm going to sing. It's going to be Jesus Take the Wheel. So I start singing it and I get to the part where it's like she hits the ice and she starts just singing Jesus Take, the wheel. And I look over and I'm just in this moment of I am sitting here on a private island with the songwriter of the person who was inspired to write this song. And this song has carried me through the hardest moments of my life. I always say, Jesus, take the wheel when times get tough. And I just look over at him. I start bawling in the middle of the song. And I'm so embarrassed because I'm crying so hard. It's mostly just coming out of my nose. And so I just run off stage and I'm like in the background of my, in the bathroom hiding. And I was like, I'm never going to live that down. I'm never going to live that down at all. It was so bad.
It was like a random emotional overtake.
Oh, it was supposed to be this beautiful thing where I'm singing Jesus Take the Wheel, but it was so emotional. It was humiliating.
Also, tough song choice.
I like tough songs. I like tough songs.
Yeah.
I can sing it, but apparently not around him. I sing it all the time. I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
I want to hear your all-time most embarrassing moment.
I will tell one, but I almost feel like I need to ask you more questions about this, this karaoke experience.
Okay.
Because here's the part that's good for me. The writer of the song that you were singing was there in person.
Yeah.
Watching you sing.
Oh, yeah. And I was going to rock it.
Yeah.
I was going to rock the house.
So you went up there, actually, you weren't sad going into the song. You were confident.
I was pumped.
You're like, oh, I'm about to crush this.
Yeah.
And it was just this moment.
I practiced before. We planned this that morning. And I was like, singing it by myself throughout the day.
How many other songs have gone on so far?
I wasn't first.
Okay.
No, there was 5.
Got it.
And he was like, oh my gosh, everybody's singing my songs.
Did he sing any songs?
Yeah, he's so good. Oh my gosh, he's amazing. Yeah, he's so fun.
He's also a donor as well.
Yeah.
So how'd you meet Brett?
One of our aerial recovery team, Seth Griffith.
That guy.
He knows everybody.
Yeah, he does know everyone.
He does. And so, but Brett is so taken by our cause that he actually is the one who owns the building that we throw our annual gala in every year. And he even got us event planners and everything. And we were able to raise a ton of money. It was our first time it was actually a G-Force member, sponsored a whole platoon going through Heal the Heroes, which was just so cool. And that's one of the most powerful things about upgrading your life is just, G-Force has always been, 10% of all the membership dues go to sponsoring these rescue missions. But then now that we've really transformed that program into being just so awesome and so high level, and we're really doing life together, and we're attracting these incredible entrepreneurs who want to be a force for good. The byproduct is everything in our life is scaling, including people who want to fund entire platoons. We've now had 3 platoons funded by one person each time. It's just been incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredible. And so the ripple effect of good we can do when you start attracting these amazing high-level people has just been amazing. But you're not getting out of
No,
the
I'm not getting
question
out of
asked
it. I
you.
know. Yeah,
You know you're not getting out of that.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Mhm.
Are you familiar with the happy baby yoga pose?
No.
Okay. So there's a yoga pose called happy baby.
Okay.
So when babies are happy, like they're younger, like probably 5-6 months, they'll lay on their back and they'll like hold their feet in the
Yeah.
air and they'll kind
Okay.
of, wobble back and forth. That's going to be important in a moment.
All right. Oh, no. I feel like I know the ending of this already.
So we're 2 years into our relationship, me and Svet, and she is 8 months pregnant, and she is helping me what's called crew. She's crewing my 100-mile race.
Oh,
And
gosh. 8 months pregnant?
8 months pregnant, yeah. And I'm at mile 68, and something starts to happen in the chafing area.
Oh, chafage.
Chafage.
Mad chafage.
So we're talking about chafage, it's in the unmentionables. So it's in the spots where it's pretty tough to push past it, and you got to really, really dig deep. I had gotten to, so this particular race was what's called an out and back. So you go 20 miles out, you get to an aid station, you go 20 miles back to the original starting point. That's 40 miles, out again, back. So I got to the third one, and the chafing is quite painful at this stage. And it's all up in the good areas. And the only way for that pain to get subsided, I felt like at the time, was to get some ointment cream.
Ooh.
But it was between, I need to get some sleep or do I put in some ointment cream? And the only way that I could reach that particular area, because also my arms are really sore at this point. There's chafing on my arms. I can't really move and I can't really reach back there. I had to crawl into one of my buddy's cars. Svet had to pop into the car with me, and I happy baby yoga posed as she applied this ointment and this cream in all the unmentionable areas.
Yeah.
All up in there, like a proctologist. She was bird's eye view.
This is love. This is love.
Yeah. Bird's eye view.
Oh.
And I don't know. It wasn't quote unquote embarrassing to anyone other than her or me, but it was one of those where I had to sit down and go for a moment. Oh yeah, this is happening.
This is happening.
This is going down.
This is what's going on.
Yeah. And what's amazing about that at the same point, I guess, in a way, is 2.5 weeks after that, the positions change.
Yeah.
I'm bird's eye view as Jason's being delivered. Right. So within a month of each other, we saw each other in pretty compromising positions physically.
Yikes.
But it's just one of those things like when you're in a marriage, you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know anything about compromising positions or not, but
We're not there yet.
There's just times it happens, right?
Yeah.
Times happen. And again, wasn't embarrassing to anyone other than, I guess, just me and nice little ego swallow, for sure.
That's beautiful, though,
Yeah.
in its own embarrassing way, to trust somebody so much to just trust them with your chafage.
Yeah, for sure.
Yikes.
Made it better, though.
Yeah.
The next part of the race was a lot more enjoyable.
Oof.
But yeah, I think those fun takeaways, all these stories, we're having a good time, we're discussing embarrassing stories or any type of stories. What's fun about that is there's always these key elements.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay, this is a good learning lesson.
Yeah.
And for me, it is that comes down to that trust, right? And when you're in a relationship with anyone where you trust them inexplicitly, you need to go to new levels of extremes to make sure you still do trust them, right?
Yeah.
With new levels come new devils. So you want to make sure that you can trust someone with something even larger, even more important, or even more intimate, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's a good takeaway for you or a good learning lesson in the
oh man. The lesson. Well, I'm not a big drinker. Okay. But I'm a significantly better singer if it's sponsored by 1 to 2 brainstormers.
Sure. Sure.
Now, I was nervous.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell the other part of the story that I skipped.
Oh, yeah.
And I had 3.
Yeah.
I had 3 and I never have 3.
Yeah.
That was a lot for me. I'm weak when it comes to alcohol. I just don't drink very often. So yeah, I think I was quite in my feels, and we've learned that there's 2 drink Britney is at her prime for singing. 3-Drink Britney is just too deep.
She's going to cry.
She's just going to cry.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So I think that was it. But also, again, it was the beautiful moment of my spread eagle of emotion is to.
Sorry.
I was looking at this guy who, I mean, he's just written some of the most amazing songs, and thinking about the days that this place didn't have a roof.
Mm.
And remember being completely alone when there was no windows and doors, and being scared because as the wind picked up, the remnants of the metal roof that was still here would go kung, 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 and it sounds like somebody's coming to kill you in your sleep, but you're here by yourself managing this project. And in my life, like in these highlight moments, God will like give me a flashback to those times where you're all alone and you're putting in the work behind the scenes. Nobody else knows what it really takes to pull something off. And you get rewarded in the light for all the things that you do in the dark, because they will come to the light eventually. So even if you're doing bad things in the dark, that's eventually going to come to the light. But I remember one of the biggest awards I ever won. I remember it was one of my first ones. I was walking across the stage and the mayor was giving it to me, the mayor of Nashville. And like right as I went to shake the mayor's hand, I had these flashbacks of being in my car, working till 3 a.m, working on those papers, getting those contracts in for Polly, and answering those subcontractors' questions and getting those listings done perfectly. And I just remember all those days that I wasn't around anybody. It was just me by myself working till 3 a.m. And again, but that's what it takes. And you'll get rewarded in the light for those moments. So
that's a great saying.
You know, I think it's a little bit of a shift because our culture is so used to sharing everything and having the Instagram highlight reel. But there's a lot of unsexy parts to the journey to success. And it really, your starting point matters. My starting point was freaking 0 in America, obviously.
Yeah.
And for America, it was really low starting point. So I had to put in a lot of extra work that a lot of people probably won't have to do just to get to the level I wanted to be at.
It's kind of like that story of the crab.
Mm-hmm.
You've told that one before. I forget exactly what season, but where you hear this knocking, you're like, what is this sound?
This is it. This is my dead day.
Yeah, I'm about to die.
Heard a big kid killed.
It's just this huge crab. Meaning is like we will always project fears generally of something that's astronomically awful. This is the worst case scenario. This is what's going to happen. This is what's about to come and kill me. Oh, it's just a crab. Meaning it's usually not going to be as bad as we think it is.
Reaper crab.
Yeah.
But even if it is as bad as you think it is, you end up surviving it.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Precisely.
In the moment, what kicks in and you're able to find a way.
I actually have another embarrassing story, and I'm trying to figure out if I should tell it in this episode or the next one.
I think you should.
Right now?
I think you should.
Let's do it.
This is it.
Now, I will tell this story, but also I want to make sure that everyone knows that I was able to use this for one of the best email marketing campaigns I've ever sent out.
I heard rumor on the street you're pretty good at email marketing.
I am actually pretty good at email marketing.
You think you could share some tips in the future?
Only if people want to listen.
Oh, they might.
Yeah. So here's the story. 7th grade, I'm on the football team trying to play football, and we all go out to barbecue pre-football, and the guys in my football team think it would be hilarious to put X-Lax in my food. No, I didn't know this.
No.
I eat a lot of food.
I've always wanted to do that to somebody. Confession.
Well, that's an amazing confession. But here's what's going to happen if you do that. So I'm eating at the barbecue. All is good. And then we want to go play basketball. So they're like, hey, let's go play basketball. No. So we go play basketball. Now, I'm talking mid-jump shot.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah. In front of 7th graders. So
no.
These kids
they'll eat you alive.
Yeah. Eat me alive. They did. Literally. So we're talking 12 years old, giant, explosive, angry diarrhea.
No.
All the way down my legs.
No.
Into the socks.
So they all saw it?
Everyone. The whole team. Yeah, the whole team. And then they didn't help me. There's no phones back then. Well, I shouldn't say there was no phones. I didn't have a phone back then.
Dang.
So I have to now walk Poopy Pants McGhee, right, both legs, to other people's houses, knock on the door so I can call my mom so that she can come get me. Now, my mom at the time wasn't home. The only person that was home was my sister. So my sister had to come get me, right? Because I was 12. She was just starting to drive, so she was 17. She picks me up, and I had to move schools
No.
because the torture was so relentless.
No.
Yeah.
They would have never let
They
you
never let it go, ever.
No.
And it turns out that they ended up telling me, I thought I was just couldn't hold it in, but I've come to find out that they put X-Lax in my food. Mine, I was targeted, which is, hey, whatever.
They just thought it'd be funny.
They thought it'd be hilarious.
What was the nicknames they ended up calling you?
The PC non-cussing ones?
Yeah.
Because you probably can guess a few of them, but Poopy Pants knew some. I mean, I'm making that one up. There's no actually good that I can say on the podcast.
No. How long until you moved schools?
The next year. Yeah. So the next year I moved schools. I went to a totally different school.
You had never lived
everything. Yeah. I never lived it down. Got bullied. Mid-jump shot, Britt. Oh, good grief. And now what I'm going to do in the next episode, for those who are still listening in, because there's no way you can't pass up a good poop story, is on the next one, I'm going to show you how I took that pain and turned it into $3 million.
Oh,
so if you're interested,
I want to hear.
Stay tuned. The G-Force Mastermind. You're going to find out all about it at broketowoke.com, so you can get the dates, the information, the details. Click it, learn it, love it. It's going to be amazing.